Hey, Garbrack here, and in this video we're going to be talking about player versus player, alliance versus alliance, realm versus realm, world versus world, battlegrounds, all of those. Player versus player. One of the most blood-boiling, anger-inducing aspects of any game that has it. But yet, it's also one of the most exciting that has you on the edge of your seat, not knowing exactly the outcome. Always up against a new foe, or you don't know if they changed their strategy, whereas fighting an NPC, usually the same. So there's no edge of your seat excitement. My first experience with player versus player would be Dark Age of Camelot. This is not your typical player versus player that we see in most modern MMOs. This was one of the first tri-realm games, at least that I can think of, that had massive scale player versus player combat. I've yet to see another MMO developer develop a game with tri-realm combat, at least until Guild Wars 2, Elder Scrolls Online, and now in the upcoming Camelot Unchained. One of the things I've done in the past is I talk to my guildies about Elder Scrolls, what their anticipations are, where do they think they're going to be, some of the features that they like, but most importantly I ask them, what do you like about it? Are you going to be a PvE player, a PvP player? A lot of them say they're going to be PvP, some say they're going to be PvE. And I ask those PvE players, will you be partaking in the PvP aspect? And they say no. And I look at them, well, I don't really look at them, but I ask them, like, did you ever play Dark Age of Camelot? Normally they say no, and that's fine. I mean, it is a relatively old game, came out in 2001. But the reason I refer to Dark Age of Camelot is because this game was the game that put tri-realm PvP, massive scale PvP on the map. I want to say they pioneered it. And again, I'm probably going to get some comments saying, well, this game did it first, but in my eyes, this game pioneered it. This is the first game I played that had it. And one of the things about the PvP in Dark Age was it didn't feel like the PvP that we have now, the standard combat, the battlegrounds, the arenas. It was, if I had to compare it to anything, I would have to say it gave me that feeling of endgame progression. Going in and getting completely slaughtered, or going in completely face-rolling everything. You just never know what you're going to encounter. You had that, like I said before, the edge of your seat suspense. And then when you died, you had that feeling of revenge, of going out there and getting and avenging your death. Whereas with the standard PvP, if you die, you go do it again. There wasn't a sense of pride in the PvP that you see now. It's more of just a competition, whereas in the Dark Age tri-realm, Elder Scrolls Online, hopefully, concept is you had this sense of pride. Someone took your keep, you go out there and you try and defend your keep. It was just, you really felt honored to be out there with other people. You felt, again, pride when you took down the enemy forces. It was just an aspect of the game that I really never thought of enjoying until I played Dark Age. Like, before Dark Age, I was a huge dungeon grinder PvE player, and then I jumped to Dark Age, and that's where my attention kind of shifted. And then I came into World of Warcraft, where I was like, wait a minute, no. And I went back to playing the dungeon grinding. In World of Warcraft, I went back and started playing the dungeons and the raids and stuff like that. To this day, I still don't like the WoW style PvP. A lot of people do. I mean, it's fun for them. It's not the PvP that I enjoy. Guild Wars 2 attempted the tri-realm. It's fun, but it became a Zerg fest. If you weren't in a Zerg, you were pretty much ganked. On top of that, everything was mirrored, so if you fight an Elementalist, you pretty much know exactly what you're fighting. It wasn't fun for me. Whereas again, Dark Age every realm had their own race, had their own class. So it was a little bit different. Elder Scrolls Online has a aspect of that. It is a lot of mirroring. I mean, every faction's going to have the same classes. But because the mass versatility you have in your class, your character development, your character progression, you don't know exactly what you're going to be fighting, which I think is great. So let's discuss some of the features of Elder Scrolls Online PvP that we know of. Elder Scrolls Online will provide players with access to the PvP Cyrodiil at level 10. So I think this is a great feature. So from level 10, you can start in Cyrodiil. What happens is you zone in, you're going to go talk to an NPC that controls the portal gate, and they'll teleport you or zone you into Cyrodiil. When you zone in, your level becomes boosted to level 50, well, approximately level 50. Your stats will kind of go up as well, and the skills that you currently have unlocked will scale up as well, so they will do the damage that they would do at level 50. Even though you are a scaled up level 50, you'll be able to contend and defend yourself against other people. Now, if you're going up against someone who's been level 50 for a while, obviously they're going to have a whole lot more skills than you. They're going to have better gear than you. They're going to be all around better than you are. But you still are able to defend yourself. The chances of surviving are obviously a lot less than if you're going up against someone else who's also boosted. But with that being said, at least you're able to get in, contend, and help your alliance defend and recapture your keeps or take other people's keeps. So I like this system. I mean, it's a lot better than the stagnant future of Battlegrounds. And if done right, I mean, it should work out really well. So one of the other things that is common to hear about is campaigns. What are campaigns? How are they going to work? Am I able to join other people's campaigns? So campaigns is the easiest way to explain it. I was talking to Paul Sage at PAX, and he said the easiest way to explain it is think of them as servers. So your campaign is essentially your server, and everybody on your campaign is on your server. Which makes sense. I mean, yes, it is mega servers. As a game, it only sees one server, but internally, the games, you will be playing on multiple different servers. And that makes sense. How will it work in PvP? Everybody will have their own campaign, their own Cyrodiil. So if I'm in my Cyrodiil and I have a friend that's in another guild, he's probably going to have his own Cyrodiil as well because he's in another guild. And that's fine. So the way it's going to work is what I take in mine, he takes his are completely separate. I am able to join his and he's able to join mine. As to the cost and how often you're going to be able to do that, they haven't said. But the way campaigns are going to work is, like I said, think of them as servers, and it's really easy to understand. One of the other questions that I get asked a lot is, will campaigns end? Yes, they will end. The reason they're doing this is to keep the game semi-balanced. The duration on the campaigns hasn't been announced. It can be anywhere from 3 months to 6 months to any time after 6 months. It could be a year. They haven't really decided that, but yes, there will be a natural ending point to a campaign. And like I said, the reason they're going to be doing this is because they want to make sure everything is balanced. There's items in PvP and Cyrodiil that will provide the entire alliance, PvP and PvE aspect of it, with a bonus, and these are called the Elder Scrolls. And the reason for the reset is to make sure no one alliance is continually owning them. So when it resets, they're going to go back to their default positions and then they'll be up for grabs again. Let's talk about keep taking first. So keep taking is going to be a huge part in Elder Scrolls Online PvP. The way they're going to be doing it is probably the first, the implementation that they're going to do is the first time I've ever seen something similar to this. Typically in this type of PvP combat, tri-realm combat, Guild Wars and Dark Age, is when you take a keep, you knock down a wall, knock down a door, you go in, and you kill the Keep Lord or the Jarl or whatever they decide to name the big guy in it, and the keep becomes yours. You own the keep. Guild banners go up, and all this fun, nasty stuff happens. But the way Elder Scrolls is going to be doing it is slightly different. They're going to be taking a first-person shooter aspect of it. So if you've ever played a first-person shooter, you'll kind of understand this concept. There's going to be objective points. So again, think first-person shooters, there's going to be flags. At these flags, you gotta stand at the flag with your force and defend everybody off for a specific amount of time, which hasn't been announced. Once you own that position, you then push forward to another position to capture that point. Now, the enemy force can obviously come back and recapture that flag to keep you out of the keep. So it keeps that battle constantly going back and forth, whereas in previous combat, all you have to do is run and kill a guard and you're done. Now, defending forces don't really have that much time that if they die to get back. They can use the keep travel system, but there really isn't much time. With this system, you do have that opportunity to get a second wave in for defense. So let's talk a little bit on the siege warfare aspect of it. So in order to take a keep, there's going to be siege warfare. You got your trebuchets, you got your ballistas, you got your rams, more than likely your boiling oil for your defense. You got your keep guards that you can place anywhere. You will have defenses for the keeps, and you will have offenses to take the keeps. So you can use your trebuchets, knock down doors, knock down walls. You can use your rams to attack doors. The way the rams are going to work is, in particular, that anybody can have one. You can just buy them with your Alliance versus Alliance points, your AVA points, or gold, I believe you'll be able to buy them with. And once you have it, you just drop it. So you drop it, and in particular to the ram, you'll need 3 people in order to operate and move the ram. You can have more. As to how many will fit in the ram, I don't think has been announced. But the more people you have, the better the ram will operate. It'll move a little bit faster. You'll do a little bit more damage because 3 people can't pull the ram back nearly as far as, say, 6 people. So that is a great aspect. It promotes getting people together. And because it only requires 3, you can have those small little gank squads going in and ninging a keep or taking at smaller keeps in order to throw off other people and to help break that keep travel system. So one thing to keep in mind is when you do take a keep, so if you destroy the wall, destroy the doors, when you take the keep, these keeps, doors, and walls will stay down. So you'll have to repair these. So you're going to have to plan your attack to make sure you have enough time to repair whatever you destroyed. So if you decide to go through a wall, you need to rebuild that wall before the enemy forces come in. Now, you don't have to. You can leave a big gaping hole, but that doesn't sound very smart for defense. So I mentioned keep travel system. The keep travel system is one of the key aspects to making sure you get into the combat a little bit faster, and also a key strategy to keeping the Elder Scrolls. So the keep travel system works in a way that, let's think of it as a chain. So for every keep you have, it's a link in the chain. Now the supply depots and stuff like that will probably play into this in some form, but let's not talk about that. So every keep in your realm will have a link in a chain. When an enemy force comes up, and we'll say there's 10 keeps, so there's 10 links in the chain. When an enemy force comes up, and let's say they take the 5th keep, okay? So your chain then becomes broken at the fifth link. So now your travel system, you can only travel to the 4th keep. You can't travel to the 5th or further because that link is broken. And I think this is a great system. It gets people into the combat a whole lot faster. It also helps people plan out the strategy on how they're going to take the Elder Scrolls or how they're just going to screw over the other faction. I mean, you take the 5th keep, and then you can have a force taking the 10th keep, the 9th keep, the 8th keep, and then just keep moving down. I mean, it breaks that force. But with that being said, the closer you get down to their border keep, so the closer you get down to keep number 1, the tougher it's going to be because they can just run right to you. So that's a really cool aspect. Again, it's all about strategy. I talked a little bit earlier about the push that PvP gave people, the push, the urge, the thirst to continually push forward and make yourself better, or to just avenge your death. One of the ways Elder Scrolls is going to be doing that is with becoming Emperor. Not a lot of information has been released about that. Because it's such a big thing, I'm pretty sure they want to hold off on that and do a big announcement about it. But I was able to get some information from Paul Sage about the Emperor. So the throne of the Imperial City is empty. It is up to us as players to claim that throne for ourselves. Once you earn the title of Emperor, your progression in PvP is far from done. I mean, that's not the end of PvP by any means. Once you get the title, you will then get a skill tree. So just like everything else in Elder Scrolls Online, everything has progression. There's always something for you to do, and PvP is definitely not out of the normal on that. So once you get the title, you get a new skill tree. once you open the skill tree, they haven't said if you get to keep it for the entire campaign or if you get to keep it permanently or how that's going to work, but we do know you will unlock a brand new skill tree, and all those abilities will level up as you use them. What abilities are in them, again, they haven't said, but that's a really cool aspect. So in the last topic, I want to talk about the Elder Scrolls. If you played Dark Age before, you'll be familiar with the Elder Scrolls and how they work. They're essentially relics. Guild Wars 2 did an attempt on this with the Orbs of Power, but their issue was they either made them too powerful or not powerful enough, or just the bonuses weren't worth going after, so they became vanity items and not really fought after. Dark Age of Camelot, I think, did a great job. There were 6 relics in total. Each realm had 2. Each one had their own bonuses and perks to them. If you owned multiples of the orbs, you got extra bonuses. So they were always sought after. And Relic Raids were probably one of the biggest aspects of PvP or RVR. There was times where we would call them alarm clock raids. We would set our alarm clock for like 3 or 4 a.m. and go and try and take the relic. And to our surprise, there was always, most cases, a defending force. So we would have like 150, 200 people with us going after this relic keep. And there would be 150, 200 people defending the keep. And then out of nowhere, the third realm pops in with their like 50 to 100 people to try and kill them off, run in, get the relic. It was very common to have little gank groups that would sit and watch the relic raid from a distance, wait for the other team to get it, run out of the keep, start running back to their home base. This gank squad would follow them, kill them off, grab it, and then go. I mean, they did all the hard work, and they're just going to take all the prize. So that's a great, great strategy that we can start implementing into Elder Scrolls Online. So the progression system and the Emperor system, the siege taking, I think are all great parts of PvP. I'm definitely looking forward to PvP. Like I said, I'm going to be doing PvP right from level 10 all the way up through 50. I'll probably do most of my leveling in PvP. Just because I love this type of combat. If it's done properly, this is where I will be spending 90% of my time in the PvP and running my organized 8-man groups. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of the PvP. You guys looking forward to it? Are you a PvP player? Are you a PvE player? What's your strategy? Let me know in the comments.